सदाशिवसमारम्भाम् शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्ताम् वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करम्। शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणम् सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः। ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। गुकारस्त्वन्धकारो वै ऋकारस्तन्निवर्तकः अन्धकारनिरोधित्वात् गुरुरित्यभिधीयते। ॐ सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यङ्करवावहै तेजस्विनावधितमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। ॐ पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। Bhashya, introduction to the second mantra. Evam Atmavidaha Putradi Eshanatraya Sanyasena Atmajnana Nishtataya Atma Rakshitavyaha इति एषः वेदार्थः। अथ इतरस्य अनात्मज्ञतया आत्मग्रहणाय अशक्तस्य इदम् उपदिशति मन्त्रः kurvanneva iti. The first mantra is for the Atmavit, one who is committed to Atma Jnana. Atmavidaha, for that Atmavit, Atmanam Janati, who knows the true nature of Atma is the Atmavit, the knower of Atma Swarupa. For that person, what that person has to do? Atma Rakshitavyaha, the person has to protect oneself. By what? By Atma Jnana Nishtha, by taking to Atma Jnana Nishtha, by being a person having Nishtha, a firm commitment to Atma Jnana. And preceding that Atma Jnana Nishtha, what is necessary? Putradi Yeshanatraya Sanyasena. Bhashyakara. Putradi Yeshanatraya Sanyasena. By giving up the renouncing the desires which are in the three ways, such as putra, etc. And thereby one can take to Atma Jnana Nishtha, and thereby one safeguards, one protects oneself. This is for the Atma Jnani. Here Atma Jnani includes a vidwan, a person of wisdom, and also a tivra mumukshu, for a person who has this intense desire for freedom, for an adhikari, shamadamadi sampannaha, one who is blessed with the set of wealth, the spiritual wealth called shama, dama, etc. The mastery over sense organ, mastery over one's mind, patience, etc. Shama, dama, titiksha, etc. The sadhana sampannaha, viveka, vairagya, for the person who has, for that person renunciation is to be done. I mentioned that the renunciation is twofold. One is bahya, external, and the other is antara. Bahya, it is not a rule for everyone to take to bahya renunciation, external. It may not be possible. But antara renunciation, the renunciation within, that is possible for the mumukshu. It is possible. The inner renunciation, internal renunciation, that is there. Okay. We see the details of all that. We may see in the relevant context of the renunciation. We may see. Now, what about the other person who cannot renounce yet? Anatmajñah, na atmajñah, not an atmajñani, not a person who has a consuming desire for discovery of freedom, who is not a mumukshu yet. What should the person do? Mantra says, kurvanneva, may that person keep doing one's own roles, responsibilities. So this mantra, kurvanneva, is not meant for jnani. Right? That is why the vibhaga, Bhashyakara makes it very clear. Ata itarasya, he makes it very clear. For the other person. Who is the other person? Who is not an atmajña, not a knower of atma, not a knower of atma swarupa, not a mumukshu also, not a tivra mumukshu. So, anatmajñataya, not being the atmajña, not having the jnanam, and therefore atma grahanaya ashaktasya, one who cannot comprehend the atma swarupa, not yet. Later on the person may be able to do it, but not now. Ashaktasya, idanim ashaktaha. Idam upadishati. The mantra idam upadishati. Mantra points out this, teaches this, gives this instruction to that person. Kurvanneva iti. Okay. We will read the mantra and then we will read the bhashya also. Kurvanneveha karmani jijivishet chatam samaha evam tvayi nanyatetosti na karma lipyate nare. Karmani kurvanneva, keep doing, by keeping doing the actions, roles, responsibilities, and also the vihita karma which are enjoined, vihitam karma, keep doing the vihitam karma, enjoined by the scripture for one's own welfare, that karmani kurvanneva. Shatam samaha jijivishet, may one live long, may one live for 100 years. That may one wish to live, the wish to live, jijivishet, the wishing is not in the sense, does not go with living, but because it is already there, but then that wish actually goes with kurvan. Okay. Chikirshan, it should be kurvan eva. May the person live one's own full life by carrying out one's roles, responsibilities, actions. Is there any other way? Why should one do this karma? Because this karma, doing karma, and that too here, predominantly nishkama karma, predominantly a karma which is not driven by the commitment to result, the craving for the result. Right? If a person has a craving for the drishta, adrishta, phala, result of the action, then that is the karma, is a sakama karma, the karma wherein there is craving for the result, the keenness, the longing for the result is there, a binding desire is there for the result. That is sakama karma. And that person who does this sakama karma is called kami. Okay? And who does the kamya karma, karta, kamya karma. Whereas the Shastra predominantly prescribes nishkama karma, wherein the longing is given up deliberately. This is called as phalatyaga. Phalatyaga, tyaga of phala, giving up deliberately the driving force towards the result of the action. Phalatyaga, karma phalatyaga. This we see in the Bhagavad Gita very explicitly. Phalatyaga is very much seen. So that is the only way. This nishkama karma is there, wherein there is no phala abhisandhi. Phala abhisandhi, the very keen, the keen longing for the desire, the binding desire is not there. That is nishkama karma. And the Shruti says nitya naimitik karma. These are what is said by the Shruti. These are seen as nishkama karma generally. Nitya karma, naimitika karma are seen as nishkama karma, wherein there is no specific desire for the drishta adrishta phala. What then is the purpose of doing nishkama karma? Chitta shuddhi. Chitta shuddhi is the purpose of nishkama karma, doing nishkama karma. Purity of mind, self-mastery. This is the purpose. Not for anything else predominantly, but for self-mastery. You do something so that you master yourself. You are the master of yourself. That is the nishkama karma. And this is done with the attitude of offering to Ishvara. Ishvararpana buddhi. With that it is done. This is the karma yoga as taught in the Bhagavad Gita, as we see in the Bhagavad Gita. So that is, other than this karma yoga bhavana, this approach, this attitude of karma yoga, other than that, there is bondage. Karma binds a person. Again, Bhagavad Gita points out, I think in the 3rd chapter, yajñārthāt karmanonyatra lokoyam karma bandhanaha tadartham kuru karma. Yajñārtham kuru karma. Yajna here is Ishvara, Bhashyakara points out. So any karma which is done as an offering to Ishvara, as an offering, a fit offering. When we say offering, it has to be fit, proper, appropriate. We don't offer inappropriate things inappropriately to Ishvara, to the Lord. That is fit offering. So karma done with an attitude of as an offering to Ishvara, this action of mine, may it constitute an offering, may it amount to an offering to the Lord. So with that bhavana, one does one's duties, one does one's best. Okay? Do your best. That is the Yogaha karmasu kaushalam. Karma yoga is defined as yogaha karmasu kaushalam. The adeptness in performing karma. Do your best. Also, when choosing, making wise choices, choosing properly, that's also kaushala. Choosing the proper thing and doing it properly. This is the kaushalam, and that is karma yoga, and that is done with an attitude of offering to Ishvara. This is karma yoga. In that karma yoga, there is freedom. There is freedom for the doer. That is, the person is free from the pressure to get the results, desired results, this much result, this time result, in this way the result. The pressures regarding the result of the karma, the person is free from. So, which is a great freedom. I am not driven by the craving for the results. This is the freedom from pressure one discovers within. This freedom goes a long way. Helps the person discover ultimately the innate freedom, which is total. Inner freedom, which is total. So, karma yoga helps a person ultimately discover one's innate freedom, total freedom, the inner freedom. And therefore, by karma yoga, one is free from, taking to karma yoga, one is free from pressures regarding the results. Yajnarthat karmanonyatra lokoyam karma bandhanaha, as we see in the Bhagavad Gita. Niyatam kuru karmaiva, again Bhagavad Gita. Niyatam karma, what is to be done karma. When we look at the definitions of karma, what is a karma? One of the definitions is kartavyam karma. What is to be done is called the action, the role, the responsibility to be done. This has to be done. Maya kartavyam idam. I have to do this. That's all. There is no ifs and buts here. There are no doubts with reference to that. There is no question of choosing not to do here. Kartavyam karma. There is no option here with reference to kartavya, to be done, one's responsibility. And that too is done with a cheer and with an attitude of offering to the Ishvara. One does one's best. That is karma yoga. In that, one is free from the inner pressures. Thereby, one discovers one's freedom, and one is able to see oneself in the light of being free. I am free. Doing itself, I am free. Even when I do this, I am free. This is the discovery of freedom. I am not dictated by the end. I am not dictated by the results. Right? I am not craving for the results. I just do. This is my part. As Krishna says, karmaniyeva adhikaraha te ma phaleshu kadachana. You decide actions, you do not decide the results. What result will come? You may expect certain result. With the result in mind, you may do certain things, but the result is not in your hands. It's not decided by you. Who then decides the results? The order, the karma order, which is called Ishvara also. Ishvara determines the result for a karma. Therefore, karmaniyeva adhikaraha ma phaleshu kadachana. Never we decide the result of the actions. Hoping that there will be a result, we may do action, but we don't decide the results. We don't bring about the results. The karta is only a factor in the karma. The whole karta is a very important factor. If that karta does not do this, then the karma is not done. Karta is a factor. But then there are other factors also. karta, karanam, adhishtanam, daivam, etc. is the Bhagavad Gita. Excuse me. 18th chapter. Daivam Chaivatra Panchamam. Chapter 14th verse, number 14. 18:14. Adhishtanam tatha karta karanam cha prithagvidam vividascha prithak cheshtaha daivam chaivatra panchamam. Okay. So karta is only one of the key factors, not the sole author of the result. You are not the author of the result. You are a factor in that karma, an important factor, a key factor, of course. So, I do not produce the result. I am not the author of the result. I am the doer. I am the author of the actions. Yes, not the result. And therefore, my part is to do, choose and do. That is my part. Kartavyam karma. So, kartavya, when we say, there is a freedom. There is a freedom from the phala abhisandhi. And therefore, only by karma yoga one discovers the freedom. One is able to discover. A person who is not Atma Jnani yet is able to discover the freedom within one's being free by being a karma yogi. And that is what is said in the second line of the mantra. Evam tvayi na anyatha itaha asti na karma lipyate nare. Tvayi nare, in you, the person who has deha abhimana, in you a person, such a person, karma na lipyate, karmana na lipyate. You, the person, is not afflicted by karma result, the result of karma phala. Is there any other way of not being bound by karma result? There is no other way. Anyatha na asti. There is no other way. Itaha, other than this, there is no other way. Now, look at the first word of this mantra, kurvan. It is there. Kurvan comes from the root kr, to do. Alright. And then there is this parasmaipada pratyaya shatru. Shatru shanach, Then shatru, add kr plus shatru pratyaya, you get the word kurvan. In the pullinga, you get kurvan. So the kurvan means shatru pratyaya. Shatru means parasmaipada. So the very word kurvan indicates parasmai. So, not atmane. Karma, kurvan, doing karma. For what purpose? For the sake of others, for the benefit of others. If it is for oneself, perhaps it should be kurvanaha. Kurvanaha means atmanepada. That means the result comes to the doer. That is for selfish end, right? For selfish purposes, doing things. But here it is kurvan. So, doing things for the sake of others, for the welfare, for the benefit of others. So, parasmaipada here indicates, right, Swarasya. This is the Swarasya. It's not kurvanaha, but kurvan. The parasmaipada indicates, may you do actions whose results will accrue to others. Others will benefit. Do things so that others will benefit. Okay. Don't be driven by self-interest alone, self-motive alone. Do things which will benefit others. A lasting benefit for others, which will be, so kurvan, that is Swarasya here. So the word kurvan also indicates karma yoga. And also, na karma lipyate nare, etc. That also indicates karma yoga is what is prescribed here. Now this mantra, second mantra, is does not mention kurvan, it says, but then which karma kurvan it does not mention. Bhashyakara supplies nityadi, etc. Bhashyakara supplies. So here it does not does not detail what type of karma one should do. Kurvan karmani it mentioned, but then which karmani, which actions it does not say. For that we have to go to the karma kanda, etc. of the Veda. Nitya naimitika karma. Okay. Now this mantra is seen as a sutra, very briefly talking about the pravritti, karma yoga, it talks about. Alright. And we know between karma and jnana there is this upaya upeya sambandha, the connection is there. Karma, and in particular karma yoga, helps a person prepare oneself for jnana yoga by chitta shuddhi. By chitta shuddhi, by one's self mastery, purity, the inner purity, by that one becomes eligible for jnana yoga. Therefore karma is prescribed. So karma is the upaya and jnana yoga is the upeya, the end in mind. Between karma yoga and jnana yoga there is this upaya upeya sambandha, or sadhana sadhya sambandha is there. So in order for one to be eligible for jnana yoga, do karma yoga, take to karma yoga. So that is the spirit of this mantra. Okay. So this is like this mantra is like a sutra, very brief statement of karma yoga. Alright. Now the bhashya. Kurvan eva iha nirvartayan eva karmani agnihotra adini. Iha kurvan eva iha, in this janma, in this sharira, in this human birth, kurvan eva, keeping, doing, accomplishing, doing. Bhashyakara explains kurvan nirvartayan, accomplishing, doing, completing. Don't try to half do something. As far as possible, do it completely. That is the beauty of it. Anything that you do, may you try to do it completely. Don't go half the way. Go the full way. Do the full mile. Okay. Do it the full mile. Do it full. This should be the approach. This should be the spirit. Okay. Nirvartayan, accomplishing things, doing things. Doing what? Karmani. Karmani means Bhashyakara. Vihitam karma he refers. Agnihotra avini. This is a Bhashyakara would not say Jyotishtomadini, etc. He would nowhere we see. When you say karma, Bhashyakara would immediately say Agnihotra avini. In Bhagavad Gita also we see the same spirit. He refers to Nishkama karma alone. Bhashyakara refers to Nishkama karma alone. Takes to the highest position possible within the context. When karma here means Nishkama karma, that is the highest form of karma. Bhashyakara would always refer to that highest form, highest stand he would take. That's how we elevate ourselves. Not taking to mediocre stands, okay, mediocre positions, mundane, mediocre, average position. We don't take to it. We don't grow just by taking to an average position, mediocrity. Mediocrity does not help in our growth. So, have a bigger goal. Let the goal be bigger. That's how we grow bigger. Therefore, Bhashyakara would always say, karma means Agnihotra adini. He would not say Jyotishtoma, Somayaga, he would not mention. Kamya karma, he would not mention at all. Agnihotra-dini. If a person is a kami, is full of desires, unfulfilled desires, well, the person is a kami, let the person do kamya karma, rather than taking to nishiddha karma, prohibited karma. What is prohibited, what is not good, so may the person avoid. So the person can take to kamya karma. If the person is full of unfulfilled desires, the pressure is very huge to fulfill certain desires, then the person should take to kamya karma. Kamya karma also is vihitam, but there is karma phala. The desire is there, desire for phala is there. But then the regulation within the dharma, within one's dharma is there. Swadharma, the guideline, the guide is there. Within the framework of one's swadharma, may one do the kamya karma is there. For a kami purusha. But here we are in the Upanishad, in the context of Upanishad, therefore Bhashyakara always refers to nishkama karma, Agnihotra-dini. Remember, Agnihotra itself is not a nishkama karma, but the attitude of the doer is a nishkama purusha. That is what makes a karma a nishkama karma. So I do this has to be done. Prayer the main purpose of prayer is to appreciate what one is blessed with. The main purpose of prayer is not to ask for things. Give me that, give me this, give me this much. That is there. People do pray for that, but that is not the spirit behind. The main spirit behind the prayer is to be thankful, right? Thankful for what one is blessed with. This is the main spirit of all the prayers. I think I have told you this. We go to temple not for asking things, but for thanking. We pray so that we express our thanks. We are appreciative. That we appreciate what we are blessed with. So that is the main spirit of prayers. That is the main spirit of prayers in the Veda. Anywhere in the Veda, in the Samhita Bhaga, we see prayer, etc. It is not, the main spirit is not to ask. Okay? The asking is incidental, purely incidental, so secondary. That is not the main spirit. The main spirit is to thank Ishvara. Say thanks to Ishvara. That is prayer. Okay? Alright. So, here Agnihotra done with the spirit of Karma Yoga. Right? Not as a Kami Purusha. Not as a person full of desires, unfulfillment. Not that. Therefore, Agnihotra-dini karmani, vihitani karmani, kurvan, nitya. That's why he said nitya naimittika karmani kurvan. Okay. Why do we take to the nitya naimittika karma, nishkama karma, so that the hold of ragadvesha on the individual may be reduced. To reduce the hold of ragadvesha on the person, on the individual. One is controlled by one's ragadveshas usually, but then that is not freedom, that is sort of slavery. I am dictated by my own desires, my own feelings, my own aversions. This is slavery. This is not freedom. Doing what one does, no, it is not freedom really. It is a sort of slavery only. People say, no, do what you like. That is slavery. Do what you have to do is mastery, is freedom. Do what you have to do is mastery. Do what you like, no, is slavery, really speaking. It's not imposed by any external agency. It is self-imposed slavery. I become the slave of my own likes and dislikes, my own whims and fancies. I become a slave of that. In that slavery, there is unfulfillment. There is no freedom. There is no happiness. There is no satisfaction. And therefore, this nitya naimittika karma are meant to reduce the hold of ragadvesha on the person. Be free from ragadvesha ultimately. Right? That's why Nitya Karmas are mentioned. We don't ask why we should do this. Just do this, that's all. Why should I do that? Why should I do Sandhya Vandanam? A silly question. Just do. Such a question may be relevant to Kamya Karma. Why should I do? Why should I do Jyotishthoma? Hey, you want to go to Swarga? Yes, I want to go to Swarga. Then do Jyotishthoma. There is a question is relevant. Why do I do Nitya Karma? Why should I be good? Why should I be honest? Why should I be caring? Why should I be kind? It's a meaningless question. Really, why it's meaningless here? Really meaningless. Why should I do Nitya Karma? Yeah, do, that's all. Do you ask the question, why should I eat? No. Why should I sleep? We never ask this question. Why should I eat? Why should I sleep? Why should I take? Why should I breathe? We don't ask this question. It is just there. Being a human being, you do this, that's all. This is your role, this is your responsibility, kartavyam. That's why in India we say, we say duty, right? Many times we use the word duty we say, not work. We go to work. On duty we say. That's a very nice word. Duty means kartavyam this is. So, Nitya Nimitta Karma, one deliberately, puts one's own ragadvesha behind and then chooses to do what is to be done. So that is the ragadvesha pressure one is free from. As we see in the Bhagavad Gita, niyatam karma kuru, niyatam karma kuru, kuru karma iva tasmatvam, karma jyayaha karmanaha. Bhagavad Gita is full of such exhortation to do karma once own done. All right. In Upadesha Sara, Ramana Maharshi mentioned this also. Ramana also mentions the same thing. Īśvārārpitam nechaya kritam chitta shodhakam mukti sadhakam. He says. What did I say? Did he say Īśvārārpitam? I said this correctly, but now I forgot. What? 1 minute ago I said this, now I forgot. Na ichchaya kritam. I forget the first part. The short-term memory, very, very, very bad. Na ichchaya kritam. Na ichcha. Not done out of one's own ragadvesha, but done as an Īśvārārpana. That karma is chitta shodhakam. Shodhakam means shuddhikarta. Purifies one's heart. Chittasya shodhaka. Shuddhikarta. Chitta shodhakam. And thereby, eventually, mukti sadhakam becomes the indirect means for mukti, karma. Īśvārārpitam na ichchaya kritam. So, Īśvārārpana, buddhya kritam karma, the karma which is done as an offering to Īśvara, that is nishkama karma, helps one discover the freedom from ragadvesha. The spirit of all the karmas enjoined, in fact, all the karmas enjoined in the karma kanda of the Veda is chitta shuddhi only. Ultimately chitta shuddhi only. Even when the Veda enjoins kamya karma just to fulfill certain desires, even behind that karma, the Veda spirit is to help the person gain chitta shuddhi only. It is the individual who wants the results, the desired results, who is after the results. Hankering of the results is the individual's part. But Veda keeps the Chitta Shuddhi in the mind alone it gives. It is not the Veda says, may you desire to go to heaven. It does not say. This fellow has a desire. Swarga Kamaha, it says. Right? It does not say Swargam Kamayet, it does not say. But Swarga Kamaha, if the person has a desire for Swarga, then Jyotishtoma Yajeta, do Jyotishtoma, etc. is there. So it is the desire is not enjoined in the Veda, the desire is already there. But the Veda, as a well-wisher of the person, wants the person to accomplish that thing because there is so much pressure. Without fulfilling, without trying to fulfill that desire, the person will not rest, the mind will not rest, okay? Will not find some peace. And therefore, okay, when that is so much pressure, just then choose to go along, choose to follow Dharma, choose to be within one's Vadharma. Therefore, the Veda enjoins such rituals, such actions for Jyotishtoma, etc. are enjoined. So the spirit of all the karma enjoined in Veda, in the light of Veda, is Chitta Shuddhi only. Immediately or eventually. Immediately for Nishkama karma, eventually for Sakama karma also. In the karma, when a person does the Vihitam karma, there is the twofold result is there. Drishta and Adrishta phala both are there. And both in the Sakama karma and Nishkama karma, there is punya, the element of punya is always there. Right? That punya which will lead to Chitta Shuddhi, that is always there. The difference between Sakama and Nishkama is that in Sakama karma, the quantum, if you can quantify, the quantum of that punya which gives Chitta Shuddhi is very little. Whereas in the Nishkama karma, the amount of punya generated by that Nishkama karma, which will give Chitta Shuddhi, is very large. If I can say, in Sakama karma, there is 1% of punya which will give Chitta Shuddhi. Just a number, okay? It is not 1%. Where is it said? A tiny amount, small amount of punya is there which will give Chitta Shuddhi eventually. Whereas in the Nishkama karma, we can say 99% or so of the phalam, of the result punya is only for Chitta Shuddhi. It's like this. Some fellow saves money, 100 rupees saves money. Okay. Another fellow saves 1 rupee, like saves money. So over 100 weeks, this fellow will save 100 rupees. The first fellow will save over 1 week, the fellow saves 100 rupees. Okay? Earning money little by little takes time to earn the required amount. Similarly, when the person does Sakama karma, then the punya earned for Chitta Shuddhi is very little and it accrues to the doer. It takes a long time for a person to mature into a Nishkama person. It takes time. Whereas for a Nishkama karmi Purusha, the Chitta Shuddhi element is very huge and therefore Chitta Shuddhi comes very quickly. Alright, therefore, kurvanneva, karmani kurvanneva. There are a lot of impressions in the mind, okay? Every action, even they say every train of thought, a deliberate thought, and every experience leaves an impression in the person, in the mind, it leaves an impression. And these impressions accumulate. Each impression accumulates. And these accumulated impressions constitute the samskara for the person. And the samskara is carried over, right? The samskara is part of the manaha or the jiva, which is part of the sukshma sharira, which goes from body to body, janma to janma, birth to birth. So, I carry all the samskaras, all the punya papa I carry over into the next janma also. Next janma also I carry, the individual carries. And these samskaras manifest as vasanas, tendencies. They manifest as vasana, tendency, inclination, proclivity, leaning towards this, all the vasanas. So, there are vasanas, twofold are there, Shubha Vasana and Ashubha Vasana. The twofold are there. Shubha, noble. Ashubha, not noble. Tendencies are there. Samskara, impressions are there. The predominant Vasana determines, controls the choice, the response of the persons. The choice of the activity, the response of the person, the outlook of the person, these are governed by the predominant vasanas, the samskaras. In other words, karma. We call it as karma, loosely called as karma. Alright. So, in the human mind or in the human being, there may be lot of Ashubha samskara, Ashubha elements, Ashubha vasanas may be there. And this may be very strong. Then they are called Kashaya. That is called as Kashaya. Kashaya refers to predominantly the Ashubha vasana, the predominant strong Ashubha vasana, not the noble ones, impressions, samskaras. One would like to be free from them, given the sanity, given the strength of mind, given some mastery, the person would like to be free from such Ashubha vasanas, Ashubha samskaras, one would like to be. And that is called Kashaya. So, how does one take care of Kashaya? Usually it is not overnight. It's a process of elimination, process of becoming free from the hold of that. It is a process. So this process is referred to as cooking, like cooking. Cooking takes time. Okay. Potato, you don't cook in 1 second. It needs a few minutes. Rice, it takes few minutes to cook. So too, the processing of the one's kashayas takes time. One has to allow certain time. In the modern cookers, they have timer also is there, comes with a timer. So you set the timing and then the cooker will be on for so much time. Now, time is an element, as an essential element. One has to allow oneself time to grow out of undesirable elements in oneself. And allow time, all right, but just by allowing time, over time it happens automatically? No, it does not happen automatically. We have to initiate the changes. We have to initiate the changes. Change does not come on its own. We have to initiate the changes in ourselves. We have to have the will, the sankalpa. We have to make the decision, and we have to initiate the changes and take to the means and then sustain the means, keep doing the means, right? And then give time. It is not over time we become holy. We remain as we are over time. If we don't do anything, we remain as we are, what we are now. We don't become any better for that. But we have to initiate the changes. Decide, initiate the change, and then keep doing what needs to be done. Then give time. So, the kashaya is to be cooked, right? Karma is the means. To be done karma is the means for becoming free from kashaya. So it is said, kashaya paktihi karmani. One shloka says, kashaya paktihi. Paktihi means for cooking kashaya. Right? To be free from kashaya, do karma. Kashaya paktihi karmani. Jnanam tu parama gatihi. Jnanam is, on the other hand, is the highest goal, parama gatihi. That does not come when a person has lot of kashaya within. Kashaya is remaining within. Kashaya is like that, very, very strong stain in a cloth. No, there is a strong stain. Very difficult to remove. Such is called kashaya. So, kashaya has to be removed with great effort, give time, consistency, be prayerful, all that necessary. Kashaya patti karmani. As long as one has kashayas, one is the one that hold of kashaya, jnanam will not occur. Jnanam will not be there. There may be at best information, but no understanding, no vision, no assimilation will be there. One cannot be unrighteous yet expect to be a holy person. I am a robber, saintly robber. I cannot be a saintly killer. I cannot be. Murderer. I cannot be. Saintly murderer. I cannot be. So having kashaya, one wants to have jnanam, it is out of question. Because where does jnana take place? In my mind. And if that mind is full of kashaya, where is the room for wisdom? Kashaya has to be processed. Has to be gotten free from. You have to get free from this. So kashaya pakti karmani, then jnanam tu paramagatihi. Then the shloka says, kashaye karmabihi pakve tato jnanam pravartate. Only after one has chitta shuddhi, jnanam sets in. It starts working. Otherwise it remains an information. You have the information. Brahma, everything is Brahman, I know that. I am Brahman, I know that. That's all. Full stop, that's all. It is like the child, a kindergartner, reading a book on medicine. Okay? The kindergartner kid, right? Now the she knows ABCD. And then Bada Bhai hai, elder brother is there. Elder brother is in a medical school, medical college. Now, out of curiosity, this girl takes brother's book and then sees, she knows HUMAN ANATOMY. I can read human anatomy. She can't read human, she can't read anatomy, she can read ABCD. HUMAN. Elder brother reads this only. I also can read. Right? You can read only alphabet. You can't read the word. You can't understand what it says. Even if a brother says, this is human anatomy, baby, this is human anatomy. She will say human anatomy. What do you know? Nothing. You say the word, but you don't know what it means. Right? So, as long as one is under the spell of kashaya, raga, dvesha, there won't be jnanam. You may have at best an information, that's all. Maybe janta hu, that's all. Kya jante ho? Sarvam Brahma. I also know. What do you know? Sarvam Brahma, I am that Brahman. You have only the translation you have. You don't have the wisdom. Therefore, as long as kashaya is there, jnanam will not set in. That will be a delusion. It will be a delusion to think that one need not work with oneself. It will be a delusion. So, mantra, the shloka very explicit says, kashaye karmabihi pakve sati. Only when the kashaya is nullified, the undesirable elements in oneself is nullified, taken care of. Only when there is a growth, then tataha jnanam pravartate. Only then jnanam comes into play. Therefore, karma is for pakva of kashaya. Raga dvesha, handling, accounting for raga dvesha, processing raga dvesha, reducing raga dvesha, being free from the hold of raga dvesha. So, agnihotra adini karmani kurvanneva, continuing, jijivishet, jivitum icchet. Jijivishet, the word comes from the root jiv, to live, jiva pranadharane, to live, jiv, and then to that the affix san is added. The prefix ansan means desire. So jiv plus san means desire to live. So from that the word comes jijivishet, jiv plus san, then we get vidhiling form jijivishet. That Bhashyakara explained, jivitum icchet. So jiv plus san, jivitum icchet, icha, the desire. San, the sun refers to icha, jivitum icchet. Then continuing, shatam sankhyakaa, 100 in number. Shatam means shatam sankhya. Sankhya means number. Sankhyakaa, shata sankhyakaa, 100 in number. What? Samaha, samvatsaran. Sama is a word for varsha, year. So samaha samvatsaran, shatam samvatsaran jijivishet. May one desire, may one wish to live for 100 years. Full life, allotted full life. Why 100 years? Bhashyakara says, what is this 100 here? Bhashyakara says, Tavad hi purushasya parama ayuhu nirupitam. Tavad hi, that long indeed, that word hi indeed means it is well known. It is well known that Tavat, that long is purushasya, for the human being, parama ayuhu, the lifespan, the longest lifespan, general long span, general lifespan, 100 years. Of course, we know that there are people who live more than 100 years, we know, but here usually 100 years is seen as the usual lifespan for the human being. Therefore, we in the mantras also, may you live for 100 years, we say. Right? Shatam jiva. In the Sandhya Vandana mantra, in the afternoon when they do, noon time, Jivema Sharadashatam, Nandama Sharadashatam, Modama Sharadashatam, etc. Sharadaha Shatam, 100 autumns, 100 springs, 100 winters, Sharadaha, Sharadrutu. May we live for 100 autumns, means 100 years, 100 seasons, 100 years. Nandama, may we enjoy for 100 years. Then all that he says, Modama, Nandama, Prabhavama, Ajitasyama, Sharadashatam, etc. So may we live for 100 years. That is it. Then also it is Shatayuhu vai Purushaha, Veda also says. It is well known that the human being lives for about 100 years. So Shatayuhu, 100 years, therefore Bhashyakara points out, the 100 is not enjoined. You should live for 100 years. What if I die earlier? Or what I outlive? What I live for more than 100 years? No, you should not do that. That means after I reach 100 I should commit suicide? No. Therefore here the 100 is not enjoined here. Okay? Shatam is actually praptam. Therefore Bhashyakara says, Tavadhi Purushasya Paramayu Nirupitam. Already it is ascertained, already it is well known. It's well known that a person lives for 100 years on an average, generally. Alright. Therefore, that is not being enjoined. Tathacha Prapta Anuvadena Yat Jijivishet Shatam Varshani Tate Kurvanneva Karmani Iti Etat Vidhiyate. Tatacha, thus, Prapta Anuvadena, just by repeating, Anuvada, repeating what is already there. 100 years is already there for the human being as a normal lifespan. Praptasya Anuvada, just restating, just stating what is already there, available. Yatu Jijivishet Shatam Varshani, that a person would love to live for full long life, 100 years. That living for 100 years, how should one live? This is what is being said. So, kurvanneva karmani, doing karma alone, iti etat vidiyate. This is what is the Veda says. So, jijivishet is not the vidhi here. Kurvan is the vidhi here. May one should desire to live. That is not the vidhi here. That's not the injunction. That's not the rule given. It is already there. Therefore, it need not be given. It's like saying, no, when you are hungry, oh human being, you must eat. What big thing? When you want to see, you must open your eyes and see, oh human being, you must do that. When you want to walk, you must use your legs, oh human being. What is the point? What is the vidhi? What is the rule here? It is already there. Therefore, jijivisha is already there. Therefore, that is not being enjoined. Do this. That is not the spirit. Jijivisha is not the spirit. But then, karmani kurman is the spirit. Keep doing your role, your activities, your responsibilities. And then nitya karma, keep doing nitya karma. As a person grows, becomes more and more mature, more and more of the karma becomes nitya. This are the nishkama, it becomes nishkama karma. The nishkama content of that karma increases. This is the mark of maturity. The more the person is mature means the more the nishkama content of the person's actions, what the person does, in that the nishkama content is more, not the sakama content. This is the mark of maturity. This is maturity. Okay? Not the selfish person, but the selfless person who is very active. Therefore, karmani kurvanneva iti etat vidiyate. This is what is enjoined here. Karmani kuru iti, that is what is enjoined. Alright. Then, Pashakara moves on to the next line. Evam tvi, etc. We will see this in our next class. Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om.